Across our local area, our school district's continuing to help students through this. We talked to Dr. Danya Bazzi from the West Bloomfield School District, where one of the 3 kids that unfortunately passed away as a result of the fire on Sunday at that home in West Bloomfield was from the West Bloomfield School District. 2 students involved in the fire on Pembury Lane that passed away over the weekend were students in Farmington Public Schools. Joining us now from Farmington Public Schools is Dr. Lydia Moore, who has more information on some of their grief and counseling services that are available. Dr. Moore, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
I'd imagine similar to in the West Bloomfield School District, where the 3rd of these siblings was attending, that these services will be pretty similar in Farmington Public Schools. Give us the basic details that families in Farmington schools should know about what grief support services are available during this time.
Yep, absolutely. So we have members of our social emotional support team at each of the buildings that were impacted. As well, we do have supports within our district from a care coordination service called Care Solace. This is a service, again, a mental health coordination service that's available for any family, student, or employee in Farmington Public Schools. And that can be accessed by going to Care Solace, CareSolace.com/Farmington PS. So like Farmington Public Schools, Farmington PS. Additionally, for our staff, we do have support through the Employee Assistance Program. And we've been sharing that information with our employees as well.
And Dr. Lydia Moore is with us from Farmington Public Schools. A message was sent out to parents in the school district too on Monday that does include a link to some of those care services. And so at this time, what are some of the focal points of your care services for students in Farmington schools? Because we know that there are a variety of different ages that, of course, these two kids that had passed away in the fire had been interacting without the school, in Farmington Public Schools. And I'd imagine that does bring some additional nuance given some of the age differences across your school district.
Sure, absolutely. What we're really focusing on is making sure that staff who work with the students that were impacted are available and working closely with the students. These are staff that already have relationships with the students impacted.
And we appreciate you being with us as well to give us more information from Farmington Public Schools. Dr. Lydia Moore with us today on the Splash Live as Farmington schools and their students continue through their grieving process as well. And we want to also get a perspective too from your school district on support that's being provided also to maybe parents, to staff, to faculty across your schools that may also be affected by this, because that also will impact the children too.
Yep, absolutely. And again, through our district, we have the 2 resources that I talked about, the Employee Assistance Program that can actually provide some mental health support and counseling to employees, as well as the Care Solace mental health coordination services. They don't provide the direct care, but they can help get families, students, or employees connected to supports through their own private insurance.
And that's a really important element of this too, is making sure that all pillars of the community in Farmington Public Schools and other school districts like West Bloomfield that are involved, of course, with students unfortunately passing away, but also those families, their friends, neighbors, and so on, can understand the resources that are available in our community. So that plays, I'd imagine, a very key role. Information as much as direct support, Dr. Moore.
Yep, absolutely. It's important. It's important to make sure that people know to reach out and ask for help as they're experiencing their own sense of loss. So it's important to know what's available and where to seek support.
The Farmington Public Schools website, farmington.k12.mi.us. They did send an email out to parents throughout the school district on Monday, stating that, quote, "It is with heavy heart and tremendous sadness that we share that 2 FPS students, Farmington Public School students, were fatally injured in a house fire last night, that being Sunday, February 2nd, along with a sibling who attended a school outside of the district, that would be in West Bloomfield." They did, in that message to parents, discussed their social emotional support team being available throughout the district and provided a link with valuable information to help parents and help families discuss this with their kids. Dr. Moore, we know that in other districts, when there are situations like this, they usually will keep those grief services around for a set period of time, sometimes around a week, and then otherwise on call. What's the timeline like in Farmington Public Schools?
Yep, that's a great question. Thank you. Our plan right now is we're going day by day and taking kind of the temperature of the need of the buildings that were impacted. So at this point, there is support at the schools today. There will be tomorrow, and then we will continue to evaluate day by day when we believe that the services will not be needed.
Well, Dr. Lydia Moore is with us from the Farmington Public Schools. They're Executive Director of Special Education Services, helping them lead in the grieving process as we continue through the days, the initial days after a tragic home fire in West Bloomfield took the lives of 3 students from across our community, 1 in the West Bloomfield School District and 2, unfortunately, in the Farmington Public Schools as well. Dr. Moore, any lasting messages for the community at this time or other information that Farmington Public School students, staff, and families and their community should know about services being provided or any other information for the public?
Yep, absolutely. Again, I just encourage you that to remember it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to reach out for support. We have these resources available because we want staff and families and students to utilize them as they see fit or as they need to. So again, the message is please don't hesitate to reach out for support.
Dr. Lydia Moore with us from Farmington Public Schools. We really appreciate your time giving us insight on this. We don't think about it when we say Greater West Bloomfield or when we talk about a fire in West Bloomfield Township that unfortunately and so tragically leads to the death of 3 kids. We forget that we're so interconnected in Greater West Bloomfield. 7 different school districts serving our community, including Farmington Public Schools. We keep our thoughts with you, with your team, and of course with their students and staff at this time. Thank you so much for taking a moment to be with us.
Thank you.